Designed for women. Gordon Boswell, the florist who supplies you with flowers that last longer, presents Nona Greene. Every Wednesday at this time, Miss Greene is heard in a quarter hour of friendly, informal conversation. Today, some of the fantastic trends of the day in the fashion world will be discussed. If you've wondered what the correct length will be in this year's fashion parade and what the favorite styles will be, perhaps you'll want to get a pencil and pad handy right now so you can take notes. While you're doing that, here's a word of importance to every woman. When you entertain, make sure your floral arrangements reflect charm and good taste. Call on Gordon Boswell for superbly done floral arrangements on any occasion. The beauty and charm of a Gordon Boswell arrangement blends into the spirit of the event, provides the perfect symbol for a special sentiment. For weddings, parties, anniversaries, family reunions, for every special entertainment event, be sure your arrangements are right. Decorate with flowers that last longer from Gordon Boswell Florist. Dial 22265 for all types of floral service. Gordon Boswell Florist, 1220 Pennsylvania. Now, Nona Greene.
Good afternoon. Leave us face it, ladies of leisure, ladies of labor, and ladies of sheer delight. We've got to use our thinking caps this fall. Since the rebirth of Paris, theater lights up and wings teeming with onlookers, the popping of champagne corks at Café de la Paix, the hustle of lazy French taxi drivers who have found once again that their beep-beep horns work, and last, the issuance of 14-karat gold engraved invitation to Paris fashion shows. The American woman has received a blow below the belt. It's our fall wardrobe, ladies. You know, all the marvelous coats, dresses, and accessories you bought last season are technically KO'd this year. And the confusion in women's fashions is as great now as the discussion of heredity versus environment was when Freud was but a mere lad in knickers. In other words, there is a distinct dividing point in the opinions when we read about what we should wear and why. In order to avoid an argument, and I've got to start from scratch too, I'll just outline what's going to be fashionable this fall, according to the men and women who design and make clothes for the American woman. The same woman who will be a walking and dancing clothes horse if her wardrobe can stand a complete reconversion, not to mention what her husband can stand. Let's begin with coats. And please keep well in mind that the majority of them are designed for women who live where the snow and sleet beds them in 4 to 6 months a year, and where designers capitalize on what the weatherman knows to be true. Fortunately, we women in Texas don't have to shiver that long, and we wear fabulous furs for one and only one reason: handsome impression. For though you look high and low, there is nothing to take the place of a stunning fur coat casually draped about the female torso. Agreed? In advanced fashion releases, there are admitted but 2 specific fur designs. First, the coat with a flowing and exaggerated number of pelts with fitted cuffs, sweeping lapels and nipped-in waists. And second, the coat that climbs up, skin-tight from the hemline, not unlike a serpent making his way to the top of an elm tree, cuffed in an entirely different fur. In the words of the fashion writers, Russian sable is the bright link to the new mood. Here I would like to ask, but how many women can really and sincerely afford one? The answer undoubtedly would be, any woman can afford one piece of fur luxury if she budgets herself properly through the years, anticipating just one little $10,000 torso cover-up. Personally, I would have to budget exactly 20 years past my lifespan. And following in popularity is the magnificent mink with the opulent sweep of hem. I, for one, believe a mink coat though unnecessary, is still nevertheless the sign of success, no matter how you get it, as Max Schumann would put it. Then there's Persian lamb, designed from the collar to the hem to make room for the perfectly designed suit or dress without appearing to be the bark cover on a knotty pine. Next, white mink, which is destined to take the place of the white ermine for formal evening wear, and will be seen in short, full jackets, complete with collars and cuffs, for the grand opening of the Metropolitan Opera season, or for those dinner for 2 nights under the stars in Texas, California, or Alaska, for that matter. Here we can't forget to mention that good old handsome Russian broadtail, designed for fall with or without the added persuasion of another fabulous fur. And last but not least, and created for the woman who has a never-ending surplus of the good old American greenbacks, there is the exclusive Russian broadtail suit. A skirt and jacket set off with smart glowing buttons and considered absolutely complete after its owner adds a reasonable amount of precious jewels. 2 or 3 bracelets composed of diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires, a pair of diamond clips and earrings, and finally a very striking pair of twin little finger rings. That is the picture of the 1948 clothes horse who really stepped out of a bandbox, and all for an estimated $1 million. Now we broach a very touchy subject, milady's dress. This wonderfully exciting thing of material, whose only duty is to properly cover the figure, has caused more unrestrained conversation and discussion than the proper use of atomic energy. The dress I'm approaching as I would a sick room, with cotton-padded feet and muffled voice tones, because it has undergone a complete metamorphosis. The hem has been dropped, and when it was dropped, the effect on all of us was similar to the effect registered all over the nation when the stock market crashed in 1929. The bottom of our present wardrobe hit a new low, and for the most part, I dare say, can't be made to look like 1948. There's always hope, however, that the designers will let us rehem our last year's dresses, with tape if necessary. But here again we run into the same difficulty. Suppose we do drop the hem. What then? After all that work, we'll probably find that the new colors and olds don't have the slightest thing in common, and we're right back where we started. So, ladies, find a pencil, because here come the proper lengths for dresses this fall, as agreed upon by the tip-top designers of your clothes from Maine to California, from Canada to Mexico. For daytime wear, the dress hem should measure 13 to 14 inches off the floor, and that means wash dresses and luncheon clothes. For evening, any time after 5 p.m., the hem has a variation. The hem on a bouffant skirt can be 9 inches from the floor in the front and 6 inches from the same floor in the back. Definitely a dress for cocktails and dinner. Then for late evening wear, perhaps cocktails, dinner, and the theater or opera, the hem should measure an exacting 10 inches off the floor all the way around. Remember when stretching that last year's hem downward, ladies, that the hem must be even if it's to have that mid-calf, low, sophisticated look. Our masculine shoulder padding has taken a blow, too. The new 1948 shoulder is round and tapered, oval-like. We no longer need look like star halfbacks at a dinner party. We can look as feminine as the men would have us look. This, too, necessitates a change. But if you're lucky and a good seamstress to boot, you can make the switch without spending a nickel. That long, slim American Beauty torso look is still here, and blessed we are. Though it has been consciously placed in a subdued background for fall in order to make way for the very new box pleats, bands of tucks, and deep double flounces. Those of us who possess the proper figure should definitely bound forth in tucks, pleats, and flounces, but for all others should taper themselves down, not round. In other words, it is the contention of fashion designers to fit the dress to the woman, not the woman to the dress. So if you've got what the beauty ads scream and proclaim to be glamorous limbs, rounded hips, nipped-in waist, fittings for the décolletage dress, strong and firm shoulders, and clean, sort of glowing skin, then you'll be the newest of the new. Otherwise, you'll be like me, mid-center, in order to enhance what good features you know you possess. And the shoes, ladies. They, too, have been reborn, so to speak. And once again, thanks to the new lines and styles that began to crop out in Paris after the wages of war had been spent, and cobblers could let their ideas take wings again. Those of us who actually labored to train our feet to wear open toes and heels are once again getting set for another training period. Training for the closed toe and heel. If change of a drastic variety disturbs you, Remember, if you will, that discipline in any farm is far better than none at all. And believe me, ladies, the shoes planned for 1948 will discipline you if you have the shoe bug. Those of us in the short of it all class, anyone under 5 foot 6 inches tall, will feel pangs of tears when we must discard the delightful added platform inches, for platforms and wedges are out, as well as that open toe and heel. The new shoe is designed in proportion. The long hemlines necessitate high shoes. It's really a case for a mechanical engineer, because the shoe must appear to be going up to meet the new low hemline. So far as height is concerned, ladies, it's off the ground for shoes in 1948. The inches removed when the platform and wedges disappeared come to us in another form next year. The shoes will have high heels, heels that will undoubtedly resemble an oil derrick stretching up to the sky, or a flying disc as viewed through the reverse end of a pair of binoculars. And I, for one, am grateful, though I know full well that I'll have to learn to walk all over again, as one can't walk around like a human version of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I must rebalance myself, and so must you. The vamp of the shoe is to be cut almost to the toes, but with straps that crisscross and double about the ankles, as if they were destined to meet that hemline. Tall women need not fret and worry. Their shoes will be like ours, but with minimized heels instead of the 3 and 3.5 inch spikes. So, ladies, when you go out for the first time in your first new 1948 ensemble, dance a few thousand rumbas, foxtrots, and sambas, don't forget to go home prepared to feel fashionable while soaking your tootsies in hot Epsom salts. For with all the new angles in women's fashions, the designers still believe in Epsom salts for tired and aching feet. 1948 will be a new year, and each of us can look and feel like 1948 if we exercise common sense when we buy. And last but not least, ladies, your husbands, brothers, and dates aren't going to get off exactly even Steven this year. According to the masculine stylist, Frank Cooper, men have some changes in wardrobe to cope with. The new tan tones, soft pastel shades for shirts and socks, and last, the news that those $50 hand-painted ties are things of the past. Throughout the long months to come, I shall make every effort to keep you up to date on the late fashion news. This is your program, ladies, so it's really up to you to choose my subject matter. I'll make a stab at any subject so long as you'll listen, enjoy yourself while doing so, and support Gordon Boswell, Fort Worth's finest florist. Next week, a little touch of New York is in store for you, so won't you listen? Until then, thanks for listening.
For the gift of real charm, send flowers. The correct flowers chosen for the occasion convey the exact shade of meaning impossible to express with any other gift. Anytime you want to make an especially attractive gift, send flowers. And for flowers that look better, last longer, call on Gordon Boswell. Dial 22265 for any type of floral service. Gordon Boswell Florist, 1220 Pennsylvania. Gordon Boswell specializes in decorations. For any social occasion, be sure of your charm as a hostess with Decorations by Boswell. Phone 22265. You have heard Nona Greene discussing current trends in the fashion world. Miss Greene is presented every Wednesday afternoon at this time, courtesy of Gordon Boswell Florist. Listen again next Wednesday for Nona Greene and Design for Women. And for flowers that last longer, phone 22265. Gordon Boswell Florist, 1220 Pennsylvania.